Hello peoples, No Se Arte here. We're gonna continue to do this 10 minute. So 10-minute workout, work with me for 10 minutes. Grab yourself a piece of paper or your sewing kit or whatever it is, and just for 10 minutes, if there's something you've been wanting to do for a while, or you want to start getting into something creatively, this is your time to maybe grab your things and yeah, let's just work for 10 minutes, okay? Again, just 10 minutes. It's not much time. That's maybe 2 or 3 YouTube videos. But you got one for today, okay? And just working with your hands and all that stuff, okay? While we talk or just think a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna continue from where we left off last time. I haven't added anything new. And again, you can go back to my agreements that I have in other videos. And I was just thinking right now about what I do here when I draw, because I've seen a lot of videos of people who have these. I think I talked about it last time, and there's these videos of people who have their tablets and there's computers that kind of do this for you. The mandala, they make one stroke like this and it copies all the strokes, that same stroke on all 4 sides. And I think that's super cool, man. Technology has become really, really, really advanced, and it is a tool. Technology is a tool. I mean, pens are a tool. Paper is a tool, right? And that's part of the technological advances, right? Even though we don't consider technology, because now technology has a bigger role. The more and more we advance with these things and ideas, phones, computers, machinery, programs. But one thing that's can never be replaced, I don't think, that computers or machines can ever do, is recreate or imitate the human spirit. And also just human movement. In this case, I'm talking more so for things that are tangible, like this paper. And the way I can kind of move in a computer, you can train a computer to do it, but also a computer won't be able to process and communicate with you at the same time. And perhaps, yes, maybe I'm romantic about it, about having a tangible piece of paper and a pen and writing, and because and especially since I'm writing straight with Sharpie and going straight for it, I can't help but to see my mistakes, and I call them mistakes at this point, right? I'm gonna forgive myself, but that's how I learn. There's no turning back. I can't erase this. With the computer you can go back and delete and try again, all that, which is good. I think it's good in some aspects, but for this, I think it's nice to kind of almost feel vulnerable and careful, like working with your hands and creating something out of your own being and spirit requires you to do it carefully. I think if you care about what you're doing, because a plumber works with their hands, an electrician works with their hands, and there's good plumbers, there's bad plumbers. And I think with that, that's relative. You can, or what's the word? I guess relative, but also too, who can measure that? But, good work is always going to be good work. And I want to know I can do good work. And so that's why I think I've continued to draw, because I found something in it that makes me feel good and confident. And I get the reactions, people appreciate it, and I don't always appreciate it, but then the more I do it and the more reactions I get like that, it's endearing, it's infectious, I think that's why people who call themselves artists create. We create for the applause, you dance for the applause, and you get all levels. You get all types of levels of people who want to create. Um, but don't just think about creation as something like this, like what people think is art. It's anything, Like I said, plumbing. You're creating a system, utilizing principles, and you want to be efficient. And the same thing here. Like I'm trying to be as efficient as I can. Of course, it looks complicated, but also it's I'm trying to be economic, and not strain so much because I feel like I hold my pen really, 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 really hard. And part of this exercise and this time to take your time to learn something new and to keep advancing on it is learn how to relax, relax as much as you can. And as I'm talking, I'm not drawing much because I'm thinking about my next move. And again, I think the last video I talked about how I sometimes sit and think about it. I kind of try to figure out where I want to go and how I want to move next. I want to make sure I continue with that flow. Like I try to give everything at least some sort of thought a couple of steps ahead. But I keep on discovering new places to go. So that's why I kind of pause and I don't draw all the time. But these 10 minutes are a focused 10 minutes, a focus on this. Like I'm not checking my phone. I have a habit of doing that. I like to go for a bike ride, but right now these 10 minutes are for this. And this is why I'm doing this, so we can do this together, right? Give yourself 10 minutes of focus of whatever you're doing with your hands. And hopefully, ideally, right, 10 minutes can turn into 12 minutes of focused work, and 20, and then 3 hours, and it goes on. And you test yourself to see how much you can focus on something. And again, the tangible stuff, it makes me think about this guy, this poet, who I would catch him at the farmer's market there in downtown Sac. And he's equipped with this typewriter and just a handful of paper, maybe like 4 by 6 inches of papers. And his sign says, your top poems. I forgot what the title was, but it's poems, your topic, your price. So you would go up to him. You would tell him maybe like, oh, I want a poem about shoes. And he'll tell you, all right, tell me what you think about shoes. And so he'll kind of give you a point of view, or you'll give him like some pointers, some ideas about like, oh, well, these shoes I have here. Or let's make it a little easier. He talks about, let's say you want to do one about people or somebody. You say, oh, my sister. And he's like, oh, what's your sister's name? And Mary. And then, she has 2 daughters. And, you go on explaining what Mary's about to you. And then he says, okay, come back in 15 minutes and I'll have something for you. So he just types away, based on his own dialogue, his own intention, his own ideas. He just types based on what you told him, and his vocabulary, he'll mix it in there. And then you come back and he'll read it to you. And it was a cool thing because it's just that whole creation was solely based on that interaction, and our own interpretations of it, of our experiences, creating that poem. And so he would read it back to you, and then you donate whatever you'd like, whatever you think that's worth, and he gives you that poem, and it's yours forever. And I had a conversation with him, and he says he loves the analog. He says analog is coming back. This idea of like typing and seeing the letters move and appear, from this machine that stamps those letters on there. And it comes from one's own brain and heart and body to hit those keys and create that. And yeah, that's how I kind of see this. It's like a stamp. It's also based on experiences, And again, look I haven't taken many steps, and the 10 minutes is already over. But I have spent a lot of time just talking. Typically, I don't talk like this to myself. Maybe I'll think to myself while I'm drawing. But the point of this is just 10-minute creations. Just give yourself 10 minutes while you listen, and maybe one day we can make this into a dialogue. whether it's a Zoom or in person or however it is. But for now, I'm gonna keep spouting these 10 minutes because I think it helps me process and just give myself 10 minutes to keep on pushing on this. And look at, again, nothing too complicated. Just took a couple of steps, but there you go. Just little by little. I'm gonna keep on going, and we'll see where I feel is done is, or moving on is, right? So again, I hope this was helpful. Let me know what you think. Comment below. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good rest of the night and day, and get yourself a little stretch, man. We gotta move that body. All right? All right, have a beautiful day. We're on our way, people.